Hey guys, how's it going? I'm totally not color coordinated, and as you can see, I don't know if you can tell, there's a little bit of sweat going on. You can mostly see it on my face. I just finished doing a little bit of this. I felt like trying out, I was actually planning, she's like my intermission while I'm drinking. I have a note on this. I have a lot of little things to tell you about today. Mr. Flo, you haven't had one of these in a while. And also remind me to tell you something about my shoulder. Because even though I'm better, you know, one of the things that I'm going to talk to you guys about in this video, and what struck me today, has to do with injury. And especially when you get old like me, people, okay, I'm 42, and I always joke, like some people go, 42 isn't old. I'm just joking because not a little pepper, 22-year-old like some of you guys. So the point that I'm trying to make is, when you get older, whether older to you is older than 30, I'm just saying, you know, older, as you age, it doesn't matter specifically if we're talking about 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s or 70s or whatever age group, you have to be careful about, even more careful, I think. We should always be careful about form, but really you've got to watch, and working out and getting fit is just as important to prevent injury and to really stay healthy as we get older. I mean, when I'm in my 80s, I don't want to be worrying about falling, not being able to get up. You know, I'm hoping these guns will prevent kind of that, having a strong core. Those are the kind of things that, beyond vanity, my ponytail's having issues. I'm also going to talk about that. Beyond vanity, that's another reason that we work out, to get healthy and stay healthy. My skin really needs some lotion. By the way, I'm not even going to tell you what I was just going to tell you. Remember the other day when I was in the hotel and I was saying that I had like a rash here? I did have a rash. And I'm not going to lie, it's because I screwed up with my razor, doing it very quickly, and it burned. So, good times. All of you men out there are like, glad I don't have to do that. Although, sometimes, I don't know. I'm glad I'm not a man with big hairy armpits. That's just weird. Yeah. I mean, it's like, they're supposed to have it, but then at the same time, you know, like I remember, I'm not trying to be mean, when I was married, sometimes, you know, like it'd be summer and my husband would be like, I'm not going to do it, but you know, he'd have his arm like that and I'd look over, I'm like, dude, seriously, I don't need to see that. Like, it's like you expect it on one hand, but then on the other hand, you're like, can you box that up and maybe knit it, throw it away? Anyway, I'm all over the place. I will tell you guys, I was quite happy to come home. I'm turning into an Apple freak. Okay, still got mad love for the BlackBerry people, but I'm gonna be one of those, I think, play in the field technology girls. But I will say, I definitely need to be having some tablets for me and my Fitfluential staff. I'm really having issues with my ponytail today. I'll get to that in a second. But anyway, so I will be telling you guys about, I did not have the iPad 1. I remember everybody got it, and that's still when I was only doing BlackBerries for my phone. So right now I have BlackBerry for Business, for my business email and accounts, and then I have iPhone. Both of those are actually for business, but iPhone I just keep all my personal stuff on. BlackBerry is my business stuff for my company, for the agency where I work. Was there a point I was making? I know there was a point. Anyway, I need this kind of stuff to be able to, I started to realize what a pain in the butt it is, especially when it's not an Apple, okay? I started to be at all these conferences, and I had to bring my huge ass electrical, what's the word I'm looking for? Like electrical, I act like someone's in my house that I can ask, excuse me, there's no one here. Electrical outlet thingy that you plug in, power strip. So I have to bring a big power strip, because if you have just a laptop, right, okay, it doesn't matter what brand, but if it's not Apple, you lose battery power after 2 hours. Like sometimes if I'm getting on a long flight to go out to San Francisco, I'd be like, oh great, you know, I can use my laptop. And until I realized that there were power outlets on the plane, I would think, oh, I only have 2 hours that I can work on my laptop. Luckily now, I've discovered that they have plugs on the plane, which I didn't even realize. One of my friends told me about that. And I got an adapter, and now more flights have Wi-Fi. So people like me can basically always work all the time. But, balance, work-life balance, I'm working on it. Sorry that I don't have like a matching thing. Look, black and red, pink, gray. I'm just like a hodgepodge of workout fashion today. But it doesn't matter. What am I on? 5 minutes of babbling. I haven't even made a point yet. Anyway, so back to this. I came home and I told you guys I was so excited because I got my, is it Oogie Fit or Yugi Fit? Talk about that in a second. I got my, I'm just going to call it Oogie right now until someone corrects me. I know someone in my family would correct me and go, Kelly, actually, it's Yugi. You ever have one of those in your family that seems to know the answer to everything? I'm not even going to name names, but those of you in my family know exactly what I'm talking about. So I came home to 2 new kettlebells. So I've got now, I have a 15 pound, I have a 20 pound, a 25 pound, and a 35 pound. And so I was really excited. I wanted to just do a kettlebell workout today. But getting back to the form and the shoulder and the injury thing, I'm going to look this up because I really am digging kettlebells now, right? And I'm really... it was kind of like, I've always liked them since I started trying kettlebells, whenever that was, sometime last year. And then I told you when I started reading Josh Hillis's blog again. He's really big on kettlebells, and I'm hoping to have him as a guest here on my blog and hopefully involved in Fitfluential as well. But when I did this video, and I've given her, I almost hit my eye. I've given her really good ratings in the past. This is nothing personal. But for some reason, and maybe it's when you're using heavier dumbbells, I'm going to see if she says to use a certain level. I got to turn my heart rate monitor off. I'm at 332. I just felt like when I was doing this today, and I was using my 25 pound kettlebell, that some of the moves, because I've read, I'm not a kettlebell instructor, I'm not certified or anything, but because I've read on people that are certified, their blogs, or seen in videos, you know, Tim Ferriss, and I'm probably going to put that down there. He did a really good instructional on the kettlebell swing and on specifically what to do, what not to do. I know Jillian Michaels got a lot of flack because she put a video out, or an instructional video, and it was all wrong as far as kettlebells, because it's all the power is supposed to come from your hips. You're not supposed to be, you know, when you're doing swings, you're not supposed to be throwing it up with your back or your arm. And I found myself when I was doing this today, I feel like I'm using so much more of my back, and I don't feel that in some of these moves, she does like a swing. So you do, you're standing, it sounds funny, and boy do I need to go tanning. She's doing a swing, and then you do like a hamstring curl up, you do a swing, and so while you're up here, you know, you've got your leg out to the side, and I feel like when you do that, you're taking away from the whole correct form. So I'm not the expert. I'm sure that she's a certified trainer, so I'm going to look this up. But that was the one thing that kind of bothered me about this today, is I kept noticing when I do this, I'm feeling it so much more in my back. And I just felt like this doesn't seem like, from what I've read and what I hear, that that's the right way to be doing kettlebells. So I'm going to look that up. All in all, I think that if you're using like a lighter kettlebell, this is a great workout. It really gets my heart rate up. I probably did about 40 minutes. I'd say I was at 300 calories because I'm at 340 right now, but that's just from me babbling. And, which reminds me, I need to take my picture. So, you know, and some of you people have been asking me about running. Excuse me while I take this picture of my heart rate. Harder to take a picture with iPhone too. I don't like it. With BlackBerry, okay, I can hold the phone, and because the buttons are almost like this, okay, I can hold it like this and just press. Where this, it's a touch button where it's like this, so if you're holding it, you know, you're trying to not make the phone move, and it's like that. So every time I take my picture, I'm like, what the heck? Anyway. So that was my kettlebell. Oh, but some of you guys have been asking me about running, and if I've been running. Let me be honest with you. I started running, absolutely loved it. I was so proud that I was able to get myself running without cramping up and stuff, right? Thank God I'm getting my eyebrows done this morning. The reason that I haven't been running as much mostly was kind of me figuring out, you know, early this year, what I like to do, and the fact that I'm going to be doing workouts and eating, you know, my diet is going to be how I want it to be, which is not to make a judgment on anybody else. But when I started running, you know, the competitive side of me came out, and I was telling Amy about this, so I'm not babbling about her behind her back. But I just found that, you know, Amy was doing so well. Amy was doing marathons, so it's almost like back then, my train of thought was, well, if Amy's doing marathons, I have to do marathons. It was like, I just felt like I had to do what everybody else was doing instead of really figuring out, do I want to do that? Now, do I want to do marathons? Do I want to do 5Ks and half marathons? Yes, I would like to do it. What I found about my personality is that if I pick something in August and say, I'm going to do this, and then you tell me that I have to have this amount of training done, I have to do these long runs on this days, and then it's something that I have to do in order to be able to do something like that, it's just something I'm starting to learn about myself. I end up not liking it and then not doing it. And then you're not enjoying it. Some people excel really well doing that. You've got to figure out what you like. So for me, and I think I was reading this on Kelly's blog, Fitting Back In, where she says, I remember you wrote something like, I like to work out, I like to run. I just don't want to run 6 days a week. So for me, when I run, it's going to be more, hey, I feel like going for a run today. Do I want to be able to do marathons and stuff? Yeah. Do I think that right now in my life and my schedule I'm going to be doing it? No. And I'm fine with that. I'm just going to be cheering everybody else on. But also, I did start to notice, you guys have probably heard me say this, I get sometimes, it's not like really bad painful injuries, but I do get some jacked up weird, like where my left knee gets messed up. So that said, running might not be the best choice for me to do hardcore. It might be, I think it's a good choice for me to kind of mix in with everything else I'm doing. And just, again, realizing that when I jacked this shoulder part, or whatever it is that I slept wrong and my neck was messed up. We've all had some kind of injury or whatever. It's really kind of a pain in the butt when you have an injury that then you've got to take it easy for the next 4 weeks. Like when I had this, I knew that I couldn't work my shoulders really hard for, I think it was it was at least 4 weeks, but it was almost 6 weeks before I really felt okay. And I got to tell you guys, it's still is there. I want to work with maybe TJ this week. Hopefully I'll see him. Oh, I'm in DC next week. Maybe the week after that. Get together with him and Amy and have him maybe, or go to the chiropractor, because I feel like it's still there and I want to know how careful I have to be. Is this an injury or a little owie that's going to be with me forever, Yada, yada, yada. Where am I? Am I already at 12 minutes? I'm already at 12 minutes and I haven't even gotten to the rest of my stuff yet. Crapola. I'm going to stop now and then I'm going to do a separate blog on some of this other goodie stuff, and then maybe I'll share that with you guys tomorrow. So you're going to get to see this outfit and all of this mismatched goodie for 2 days in a row. How about that? Talk to you soon.